Here is a quick and dirty introduction to using some features, at least, of Autodesk Inventor. What we're going to do is build a logo, at least build a print of a logo. So I'm going to start by making a part. I'm going to try to get everything squarely in the frame that I'm recording here. Unfortunately, the resolution of my screen is making this a little difficult, but alright, that should work. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff here. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to run through this one exercise, hopefully give you a sense of this. We're going to start by making a sketch. What we're going to basically do is trace a logo and then extrude it to make a three-dimensional picture of it, basically. So to trace this, I'm going to insert an image. And the image I'm going to insert I could do the yellow school logo, but I'm not going to because it's actually going to be really hard for what we were trying to do. Here we go. Go on and do just the PlayStation logo. Zoom out a bit here. Boom. All right. I don't quite like where that is. I'm going to rotate it. Now I'm happier. Okay. So now our goal is to take this and to trace it. To trace it, we're going to use these sketching tools, basic lines and arcs. And so I'm going to sketch the S in the background here as one piece of this. And then I'm going to grab the P as its own thing. So now one thing to note, this keeps doing a line even though I don't want to do a line anymore. I guess I could go a little further maybe. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that. You're going to wind up having to hit escape a lot to get out of various modes in Autodesk. You get kind of used to it. Making me some arcs. Oops, that's not going to work nicely. There are a lot of different variations of all of these techniques. I can live with that. Remember going through that like it's no big thing. The fact that these are all in a perspective kind of messes with me a bit. It looks like it should be a nice easy curve, but it's not a nice easy curve. I'll just kind of go like that. Yeah, sure, that's probably what that shape looks like. Kind of. It'll be fine. Eesh, that's not going to work. There is, a lot of skill and a lot of finesse. This is a very quick and dirty way to make things in Autodesk. It's not really making proper use of a lot of these tools. Not being too careful with where things are. I could try to be very precise with some of these things. I'm not gunning for that. All I'm trying to do, nope, is just make a curve. That's not even a curve, that's a rectangle. Oh god, everything has gone to hell. Sure. You know what? It is good enough. The important part here, and the thing that you might notice, is that I'm being very careful to always start my next segment on the last piece that I connected. So you can see there's actually a small icon popping up to indicate that I'm doing that. And the reason that I'm being very, oops, nope, missed it there. The reason I'm being very careful about that is because you can only extrude a closed shape. So if it's not exactly closing on itself, I am not going to be able to extrude it at the end. Most of these things should be okay if they're not like totally perfect. I can do better than that. And so again, the idea with doing all this stuff, it's not so much that this is really not the way you'd want to build things in Autodesk, probably. It's not really taking advantage of anything. It's just getting used to some of the sketch tools and the basic sort of workflow, and probably most importantly the fact that until you get uncomfortably good at this, you're probably going to have to scrap work with some regularity. You'll get frustrated with something, you'll realize there's another way you could have done it, and you realize that it's easier to just start again than to than to try and recover from where you're at. Fortunately, I haven't had, that hasn't happened to me yet on this. But who knows, maybe my idea to do the P as kind of a separate thing, is going to really backfire. Stay tuned. We'll find out what happens as we do this kind of in real time. Well, fake real time. It's mostly just, unedited time. 'Cause ain't no one got time for that. Closing in on, no. Closing in on done with this sketch though. And so now I mentioned in passing that I'm going to do the P as its own thing. And that's because what I thought would be really clever to try and help maintain the the somewhat dimensioned illusion of this is to have the P and the S be at slightly different heights. So there we go. Boom. I made an S. Finished sketch. And so now what I could do is extrude that S, probably not 10 millimeters. Let's go maybe 2 millimeters. Like so. But then that uses up my image, and I don't really want that yet. So now I'm going to start a second sketch. Same plane, same picture still there. And this one is going to be just the P, which should be a little easier to do, I would think. Mostly straight lines and all. Let's zoom in a bit, make my life a little easier. Oh, such ugly pixels. Now I need to be careful to try to get these things to overlap as much as I can so that it's as solid as it can be. That will have to do. Nope. Alright, let's grab that. Go all the way up to there. Gonna arc it on up. I can do better than that. The zoom controls are surprisingly fickle with the mouse that I'm using. I recommend, if possible, doing this on a real desktop. It makes your life that much easier. Alright, now let's try this. Boom. Look at that. That's totally an arc. This would be kind of awesome with touch controls, but I don't think they would ever quite work the way that I want them to. So yeah, again, just playing with some of the basic sketching commands here. Trying to get a handle for what can be done. Most importantly, trying to get a handle on this idea of, always having to close my sketches if I'm going to extrude them. There are a lot of ways to produce a 3D model off of the image that you've got. This is working on just one of the most basic approaches to it. The idea of taking a 2D sketch and dropping it into a 3D environment, just popping it out basically. But even though it's, again, kind of the most basic way to do this, it's still we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of it. Boom. Finished sketch. Alright. Now the fun and exciting part. Let's extrude this bad boy. Gonna extrude this and go 2 centimeters. And then I'm going to extrude this, say 2.5. Oh, nope. Wrong way to do that. Extrude this. I had it set to cut. I do not want to cut that shape out. I want to join that shape. Like so. And then I have something that is reasonably, perhaps, recognizable as the PlayStation logo. Yeah. I put the image back up. It was consumed. Ta-da! From here, if I wanted to 3D print this, I'm going to export it as a CAD format. Specifically, I'm going to export it as an STL file, which has scrolled off the screen for capture, but is down there. I'm going to call this PS logo. I'm going to put it in my Autodesk work folder. Boom. From that, I can export it, print it, and make it look cool. So, something to do.